Welcome back to the channel and thank you for joining me today. Today I am talking about a touchy topic, something that I would want every one of us to watch this video to the end. Buying a property, owning a home, is it a liability or an asset? I've heard so many people with their own opinion. So some saying it's a liability. I kind of not really understanding from what perspective they are looking at it from. Is it because sometimes if something wrong, maybe you have problem with your plumbing, you have to fix it yourself, or is it the taxes, the annual taxes that you pay on the property that makes it a liability? But either case, I do not support that opinion that it's a liability. It's a liability temporarily, short time, to because you have to fix it if something wrong. But in the long run, it is an asset. I have watched video and I just can't but disagree with it. That is a liability. You're talking about a liability because you have to fix something. Your plumbing, maybe your electrical, you have to fix it. Maybe, but if you look at all those things in 30 years, if you look at how much you have spent in fixing your lights or fixing your plumbing or painting or whatever you do in 30 years, by the time you walk away from that property, you are going to walk away with a lump sum of money compared to when you rent an apartment. If you move from your apartment in 30 years, you are walking off away with zero money. Zero, nothing. So, do you prefer walking away with money or walking away with zero money after 30 years? So, even if you fix something on your house and you take that money with how much you are going to walk away with, we are still way better off to own your own property. There are so many reasons, so many factors, so many advantage of owning your own property. Please, family, don't listen to those that said it's a liability, so therefore maybe you shouldn't have one. Own stuff, keep stuff, and transfer stuff to your next generation. I cannot emphasize this enough for us to please own a property. It's one of those foundations. When you own property, you start building wealth. You start building wealth. If you have to pay taxes on your property, at the end of the day, you still better off because you still walk away with money. So you cannot say because you have to fix your plumbing or change your bulb that is a liability. I want us to watch this video to the end, and I'm going to show some of the of our own houses of building, wealth through owning a property. As a matter of fact, some people actually buy a commercial property or a private home to be rented out first before they even buy the one for themselves, because they see it as opportunity to build wealth, to build a generational wealth. You have to own something and you have to be able to keep something and then transfer what you own to the next generation. Let me show you some of the or that owning a property offer. If we look at it, let me just show this. This is it says uh, here here is who benefited the most from home ownership over the past 10 years. So we're talking about the benefit of home ownership in the past 10 years. Look at this now. It says home ownership has long been considered one of the best paths to build long-term wealth. Again, to build long-term wealth. A home provides safety, a tappable source of income and value that can be passed on to future generation. This is what we have been talking about on this channel, to build wealth so that we can pass it to the next generation. And let me just take that again. Ownership has long been considered one of the best paths to build long-term wealth. A homeowner provides safety, a tappable source of income and value that can be passed on to future generation. Over 10 years period, between 2012 and 2022, the value of a medium price home in the US increased by 190,000, or a gain of 19,000 per year on average, according to a new study by the National Association of Realtors. A typical homeowner net worth is 40 times higher than that of a rental. I can't emphasize this enough. A typical homeowner's net worth is 40 times higher than that of a rental. That is it. That is it. That is what I am trying to pass across. That we are building wealth when we own homes. We are building wealth. We are securing our future. So we cannot beat having your own home. And if you look, whichever way you look at it, it's better for you to own it than just renting it for somewhere. We don't want to be working for the apartment complex or working for somebody else. So we want to be able to build our own wealth by ourselves. If you go further, it says 7 reasons to own a home. 7 reasons to own a home. Of course, tax benefits. You can the US tax code lets you deduct the interest you pay on your mortgage, your property taxes, and some of the costs involved in buying a home. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you, don't listen to those that seems not to really understand, or I don't know what it is, but the way they presenting it sometimes, I just can't figure out of what point of view are they saying that. Then appreciation. Your property appreciate. Over time. Historically, real estate has had a long term, stable growth in value. You know, Equity, savings, predictability, freedom, stability. I mean, the positive list of owning a home goes on and on and on. Look at this. What is the benefit of ownership of a property? What is the benefit? It's a unlike renting, where landlords can raise your monthly rent at their discretion. Owning property typically means having a fixed mortgage payment. This predictability allow for better financial planning and budgeting, offering stability in your housing cost over time. So home ownership comes with several tax advantage. Yeah, the list goes on and on. The benefits of investing in a home include appreciation and equity. So we have to see it as the face value of what it is for us to be able to tap into that opportunity of building generational wealth for ourselves by owning a property. The positivity in owning a property is outweighs any kind of disadvantage that you might think of. And mostly people will say you have to pay taxes. Yeah, I pay taxes of out of assumption. Let's say when I pay taxes of 10,000 in 3 years, and in 30 years maybe I pay 30. But when I walk away from that house, I walk away with $300,000. So I mean, you pay 30,000, you walk away with 300,000. We cannot say because of that is a liability. It is not a liability. Absolutely not a liability. If you look at this, it said at just 41.7%, black household have the lowest, home ownership rate nationally. 41.7% black household has the lowest, ownership rate nationally. 30% point lower than white household, you know. So we need to work a little bit harder in understanding and taking advantage of owning a home, because they said indeed black white ownership gap exceed 30% point in 37 states, including 10 states where they exceed 40% point. I'm telling you, and I'm trying to encourage us to say we can't do wrong in owning something, and when we walk away from that thing after a long period of time, we are walking away with money. We are building a generational wealth. We are building a foundational wealth for ourselves. If you go further, he said, um, what percentage of African American own a house? While the US home ownership rate increased to 65.5% in 2021, the rate among black American lags significantly. 44% has only increased 0.4% in the last 10 years and is nearly 29% point less than white American. 72.7%, representing the largest black white ownership rate gap in a decade. Everyone has to do their own research and try to see from what point am I coming from to say I understand. I've seen videos that says that, but I totally disagree with it. So let us try as much as possible to actually hone something, to actually make sure that when we go out there to think about building a generational wealth, owning a property, buying a property is part of it. It has to be part of it. So here is the thing. My house has worth 40% more than what I paid for it. It has worth 40% more than I paid for it. So if I walk away from my house now, I will get 40% more than I paid for it, which means all along for the past 18 years, all along for the past 16 years, I've been living for free. Not only do I live for free, I get paid for living for free. So I cannot support that belief that owning a home is a liability. It is not. It's an asset, a valuable asset. If you move out of your house, or you move away, or you sell your home after 10 years, 15 years, there is high possibility you are going to walk away with money. And even if you don't, whatever you have put in, you can get it back. You possibly been living in your home free all along free, compared to when you're renting. So I want us to own something, and I want us to keep something, and also to transfer something to the next generation. If this is your first time on this channel, if this is your first time of joining us, we talk about things that help us to build a generational wealth, that help us to build ourselves up financially. I would like you to subscribe to the channel and also share this video. Share this video, hit notification bell so that when I release another video, you will be part of those that will be notified. Thank you once again. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for your time today. And as I see you in the next video, thank you and have a wonderful day.